A reading from the Gospel of Matthew. Jesus said to the crowds, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you tithe mint, dill, and cumin, and have neglected the weightier matters of the law, justice, and mercy, and faith. It is these you ought to have practiced without neglecting the others. You blind guides, you strain out a gnat, but swallow a camel. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you clean the outside of the cup and of the plate, but inside they are full of greed and self-indulgence. You blind Pharisee, first clean the inside of the cup, so that the outside may also become clean."
We always run the risk of putting on a clean exterior while neglecting to take care of the interior, the heart which is dirty. We go by the appearances. We go by how we look outside, how we appear outside. Jesus, on the other hand, looks at the inside of the person, the interior of the person. God our Father does the same. He looks at the inside of the person and not the outside. He sees, as he alone can, the interior, the heart. That is where he meets us and we meet him. Today, Jesus pronounces oaths on scribes and Pharisees for their hypocrisy because they neglected the interior. Jesus condemns them for neglecting the interior, neglecting the heart, and misleading the people who fail to distinguish between what is important and what is secondary. He condemns them for neglecting their heart and the essence of God's law, that is, love of God and love of neighbor. God had commanded a tithe of the first fruits of one's labor as an expression for thanksgiving and honor for his providential care for his people. Therefore, according to the Mosaic law, the people were supposed to give a tithe for the fruits of the earth. Only the fruits of the earth. They were supposed to give a tithe. Mosaic law never asked or never obliged people to give a tithe for the herbs of the earth, that is, mint, dill, cumin. Why? Because they are not an essential food in itself. Whereas the Pharisees and scribes went to the extent of giving a tithe, which was not required by the Mosaic law, for the herbs of the earth, thus trying to exalt themselves, to show an external, outward show of their piety for their religion. They wanted to get the attention of the people. They wanted to be praised by the people. Therefore, they went to the extent of paying tithe for these small plants, for which is not essential, for which is not the essential food. They strictly followed the law, as I said, to get the attention of the people, whereas they really avoided the essentials, the core of the religion, the important, the heavier matter of the religion, that is, justice, mercy, and faith. And as Prophet Micah will tell us, what does the Lord require of us? He requires of us to do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with the Lord. Therefore, dear friends, there is no virtue in being careful about small matters, externals, if one is not careful in observing the essentials, the greater matter of religion, which is justice, mercy, and faith, which is ultimately the love of God and love of neighbor. God desires mercy and not sacrifice. Our sacrifices will be acceptable and pleasing to God when it comes from our clean heart, when it comes for the love of God and love of neighbor. Hence, today we are called to abide by the core of the commandments, by the love, and treat one another as children of God the Father. Let our words and deeds be an external expression of our clean heart.